I'll look deeper into that. Line 2, you are on the air.
Hi, Sal. This is Steve from Boise, Idaho. Boy, that's a great interview with Billy Bob tonight. Fascinating, fabulous, fantastical. Great show tonight. I have been trying to get through to you for months now, and I can't believe I have finally gotten on the air with you.
Well, tonight certainly is your most lucky night then, isn't it? What do you have for us?
Well, Sal, when I was a kid, I grew up on a very large farm in Kansas. When I was 7 years old, my grandfather retired, and he was a movie prop maker. And he decided to come out and live with us on the farm, which was all fine. But about 6 months after he had moved in, he decided he was going to make a scarecrow, or our large cornfields. And I remember prior to my grandfather moving in, listening to my mother and my father and my aunts and uncles talk behind a closed door about how my grandfather was deeply into the occult. Now, when he went to make this scarecrow for the cornfields, he would not allow any of us or anybody into the workshop while he was making it. So he made this scarecrow, and it was the scariest looking, realist looking creature you had ever seen. Well, he mounted that thing out in the cornfields, and that was all fine. However, about a month after he mounted it, I heard what I thought was like wolves howling, but there's no wolves out there, so I'm not sure what it was. That's just what it sounded. And I went outside with a flashlight, and I was looking around through the cornfields, and that scarecrow turned its head and looked at me, and its eyes lit up like an orange color. I ran. I was never so scared in my life. I ran back to the house, ran into my room, pulled the covers over my head, and never looked back. Now, I don't know if that's related to my grandfather and the occult. I never saw anything like that happen again, but it's the scariest thing that I have ever seen in my life.
Was there any other events that happened after your grandfather moved in, either prior to you seeing that or after you seen that event?
Well, not that I saw. However, my older cousin came to work on the farm just shortly after my grandfather moved in. And he was working out in the fields. And he told me that right after dark one night when he was coming in, he didn't quite make it out of the cornfield by dark, that he was coming in and he was right at the edge of the cornfield, and he swore up and down to me that that scarecrow jumped off of that cross, jumped down, and chased him all the way back to the house. Now, I never believed him. I thought he was just telling me that to scare me, keep me out of the fields, because I was just a kid. And plus, I was naive, and I thought he was just making all that up. But after that happened to me, I believed him, and he left right after that, and he never came back to that farm.
And what did your dad or your grandfather have to say about these? I'm sure you guys must have told them what happened, if you were a kid. So what did they say about that?
Well, my dad just told us to stop with our tomfoolery and to get back to work. But my grandpa, he would just look at us and bust out in this evil laugh, and he would laugh and turn and walk away laughing and laughing.
We need to head into our final break of the show right now, but if there was a call tonight that was going to raise goosebumps on you, that might have been it.